Astroneer, one of the most beautiful polygon games you'll ever play. In this video, we explore the galaxy, collect keys, and we do it all in 100 days. In order to beat the game, you must collect keys from each of the planets, and those keys are located in the cores of all the planets. I have 100 days to do it all. Oh, and we find friends along the way. Day 1. Welcome to our new home. We touch down and everything sort of pops out from thin air. Chat immediately names my puffy character, Beard or not. And while exploring, I died because of suffocation. And I wasn't paying attention, so now I need to craft some juicy tethers. Because you see this bright blue line connecting me to my base? That's my oxygen line, and if I get too far away, I'll suffocate and die. But we can extend our oxygen with some cool tethers. As long as I got these tethers, I'll never suffocate again. Day 2. We dig a giant hole in the ground and gather resources for tethers. Nothing special about this day, just put a giant hole in the ground. And then we discovered this glowing orb and followed it around for a bit. To this day, I still have no clue what it does, and chat has deemed it useless. As you figured out, this game is truly a go-at-your-own-pace sort of game, so we decided to start working on the basic quests. Luckily, as you complete quests, the game gives you cool things, and we unlock stuff like these platforms, a printer, and also learn how to rotate things. Oh! And chat named our printer IKEA. The quest demanded that we go underground to gather zinc. It was also a good chance for chat to remind me to breathe. Breathe! You're gonna die! Ah! Then back at base, we forged aluminum for the quest. Back underground, we continued to mine zinc. And then the game gives us this weird space diamond artifact. This is basically a building that we're supposed to open, but fun story is that I accidentally opened it the wrong way. So we have to reload our save and try again. Now that we have the building open the correct way, we gotta charge this thing. Now, how do I do that? Fortunately, we found a generator while digging, so we connected up. And now it's making weird carnival noises. Turns out that this building is a quest line to gather pets across the galaxy. Once you find one, like this guy here, it goes in a terrarium to be housed in. These little guys are spread out all across the galaxy in every planet. So now we have to go find them all. But quick side note, this is their terrarium, and listen to the song it plays. To tame one of these little guys, you have to dance like an idiot, and the chat named it Gary the Snail. Day 6, we found a backpack on the ground next to me and opened up this purple thing that it had, and holy moly, it breaks the sky. It's beautiful, and we love it. This artwork is so amazing. Then we went back underground to grab a ton more resin because I need to start making platforms to put my bigger items on, such as this research table. And what this thing does is scan seeds and other artifacts and gives you science points, but we'll get to that later. So we printed a larger printer with the smaller printer. Makes sense to me! The quest demands that I need to upgrade my drilling tool. This will allow me to dig deeper into the planet, so we head back down for more resources. It didn't take too long. I crafted 2 drill upgrades and finished another quest we were working on. Day 8. Look how beautiful my storage has become. We managed to unlock a soil centrifuge. And hear me out. By using jars of dirt, we can make this puppy generate basic materials. And dirt has become my new best friend. I just need to make a lot of dirt jars. Day 9. Today's all about exploring and tractors. This little guy will become the hardest working member of the team. He just doesn't know it yet. We crafted a tractor and tried to move it, but apparently it needs power, so I'm running around my base trying to find a way to charge it. The chat also names the tractor Little Jim. Then we crafted a trailer for the tractor, and the chat named that Jimbo. So to summarize, 0 exploration was done, and we spent all our time with Little Jim. Day 10. With the new steed, we drive around to power up these giant purple beacons. There's a lot of story behind these guys, but here's the gist. You can dig to the core of the planet, and these beacons power the core, and you need to power them up to finish the game. And the beacons on the planet are very spread out, so we spend the day driving. On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. I just can't wait. Bow, bow, bow. On the cusp of day 13, we finally finished powering the final purple beacon. Apparently, you don't need to power them all, but chat demanded, so we did them all. And now we're able to go to the core. Today's the day we dig to the core. You're about to see the most riveting gameplay of your life. Oh, dang, we ran out of tethers. Dig, 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 dig. You know what? I don't think I'm digging steep enough. just this basic slope down to the core. Oh, dang, we need more beacons. The cave system on these planets are crazy, though. The deeper you go, the more elaborate these caves get. Oh, tethers! I learned a valuable lesson about digging to the core, which is basically to dig straight down. But we finally make it there and jump on down. Whee! Once you dig down to the core, you're supposed to place a specific resource on it, and it will give you a key. We use that key for the final location on the map to beat the game. And luckily chat told me what I needed to bring, so we've got our key. And now that we have the core powered, you can teleport to any of the beacons you've turned on. The problem is to remember which one's closest to home. Oh, there we go. Home sweet home. Day 20. Today's dedicated to getting off this planet, so we unlock a rocket recipe and a thruster recipe. Now off to work. It literally takes all day to print this huge thing because I have 0 power, so I unplug a few things to speed things up. Wow, this box is massive. And the chat named the rocket Rocketeer. Then we made the rocket engine. On day 21, we're still prepping for the moon. I need 8,000 science points so I can buy a small research station, so we get to work on gathering seeds around our planet. Once you have seeds, you can put them in the research station, and they become scanned for science points. The problem is that our scanner's moving very slow, because it has like no power. So once again, we unplug more things. I had a lot of time to kill while we wait, so we went underground to craft another rocket thruster. Day 22. We're still waiting. We're currently at 5,000 science points, and we need 8,000. So we made another research station to help speed things up. And we finally unlocked the field station. But come to find out, I don't have any of these resources to craft it. So that was a big waste of time. Forget that thing, we're going to the moon! And before leaving, I unlocked the wind turbine. These little guys can power an entire base. Day 24. We finally leave for the moon, and goodness gracious, traveling looks so amazing. The chat named the moon Planet Jason 52. And arriving at a new planet can be very humbling. For example, I was not prepped for the moon. I need my truck and a few other things. So we go back home and grab Little Jim. And we've learned that traveling between planets takes a lot of planning. So we're gonna need a packager. These guys repackage items to make them smaller and easier to transport. So that means I need a lot more science points. Day 25. We're still waiting for the science points, but I turned in some quests. And remember, as you complete quests, the game will give you cool things. And the game flat out gave me a research station. Oh, and another rocket. And power for the research station. Note to self, do the quests. Back on the moon, we prep Little Jim and start the journey to light the beacons. While driving, we take a short break to watch the stars. Luckily, we had enough power to light the beacons, but not every planet's this easy. But for now, we're proud of you, Little Jim. But come to find out, there's only 2 beacons on the moon, which makes sense because the planet's way smaller. So the next thing for us to do is dig down. Once we get back to our landing spot, I start prepping for the deep dive. The moon isn't as large as our other planet, but we still need a lot of beacons. Oh, also we need some zinc to unlock the core's key. Remember, we need a key from every planet to finish the game. Day 28. Core time, baby. We got to the core but ran out of tethers, so we got to turn around. But check out my slip and slide. Whee! Okay, now give me the key. Now that this planet is finished, the chat and I take a vote on what planet to take on next. We voted on Glacio. So here we go! On Glacio, we spend most of the day making camp. I don't know why, but I've always been a big fan of icy planets. To keep the oxygen flowing, we lay a perimeter of tethers and start turning this base into my forever home. That's right, we're here to stay. I hope you like snow. Day 31. Today we spent most of the day just prepping the base and making it look pretty, and also mining out this giant hole because it has everything we need. And thanks to Little Jim, we were able to make this place look beautiful. While base building, chat decided to name my icy planet Windy Wendy. I was a little curious if 4 generators was enough to power the beacons nearby, but something fun happened, and Little Jim learned how to fly. Oh no! Oh no! Jimmy, no!
Blue Jimmy.
Day 32. We've been flying for a while, about halfway across the planet. While driving, my character decided it was more fun to surf, and now he looks way more radical. On our adventure home, we come by zinc and make a whole bunch of packagers, because they're very important to me, and it took all day getting home. But silver lining was the packagers. On day 33, we tidy up the beacon because I don't want to get launched again. And to answer my earlier question, do I have enough power? I do not have enough power. Day 34. We do a lot of work around the base and make a trip to the starter planet. Eventually, we'll only come here for emergencies, but as you know, moving homes is a pain. We grabbed everything I need as well as a soil centrifuge, and unfortunately I ran out of space and ended up leaving Gary behind, so now he's guarding our disgusting starter base. Good luck, Gary. Back on Glacio, I dug down to make a mine, had a near-death experience, then crafted a small storage to put 8 more generators on there. As you can see, Watson, the plan is to power the beacons the cheapest way possible. Then we set up the soil centrifuge and unlocked the chemistry lab. It's like the soil centrifuge, but for fancier materials. Day 36. As you can see, the Earth is much more dense here, and has demanded that I upgrade my drill. However, to make an upgrade, we need tungsten. But to make tungsten, we need the chemistry lab. And you see, viewer, by moving my home to Glacio, the most demanding planet on the galaxy, I must start grinding my way to more advanced materials. Together, we're gonna speed run our lives into the future. So grab your tinfoil hat. So instead of focusing on upgrading my drill, the next best thing was to power the beacons. Oh hey, it works! It only takes 16 generators and a dash of hope. So let's go unlock all the beacons. The only problem with my cheap plan that it needs a lot of grass to power the generators. And as you can see, grass is a delicacy here and it's hard to find. So when I run out of power, I have to forage for a long time. Day 38. We spent all day powering the beacons. On the last one, we found this random red field, and I wanted to note it down because it was really pretty. I'm so used to seeing snow that a dash of color is really nice. Day 39. Time to dig down to the core. And while digging, I walked into a fart cloud and immediately died. Most plant life in this game wants to kill you, like this farting plant that caught us off guard. And luckily, I'm really good at making slip and slides. What? Did I just die from that? Are you serious? So it took no time to get back down. So life update, we get down to where I died and I couldn't find my backpack. It just vanished. I found a few things, but when I clicked on the pile, it exploded and sent everything flying. Weird. But now I can't find my drill upgrades, which means I can't dig any deeper, which means I have to go back up. So remember, the deeper you go, the denser the Earth gets, which is why you need drill upgrades. So we get to the core's mantle, you know, the stuff covering up the center, and come to find out my drill mod isn't strong enough to get through. So I actually need to upgrade my drill again, which means I need that tungsten. And chat told me that the moon we visited earlier had some, so we need to take a quick detour. So in order to make tungsten, you need raw material called wolframite, which is right here. And after gathering enough, we packed up and head home. Before leaving, a member of chat told me that if I packaged up a used rocket, it will refill the fuel back to 100%. And sure enough, he's right. So if I'm in a pinch, we can refill our rocket fuel for free. Back at home, we craft the chemistry lab and get to work on that tungsten. And just like that, ladies and gents, we've entered mid-game of Astroneer. And look at this beautiful tungsten. And now we're slightly better at drilling dirt. On day 46, I got a bit distracted. Chat told me that there's little stones that give you science points very quickly. On Glacio, these little rocks give you about 300 science points apiece, which is way faster than scanning those seeds. So we spent the rest of the day running around looking for them. Now that I have the science points, I can get back to work on drilling to my planet's core. The chat told me that I need diamond to unlock this planet's key, but little did I know that diamond is a late game thing. And we just got to the mid game. I have to do like 20 things first before I can even get diamond. And the first thing is to make an atmospheric condenser, which basically sucks material from the planet's sky to give you really fancy crafting materials. After making the condenser, I learned the lesson that every planet is special. For example, to make diamonds, I need to suck hydrogen out of the sky. But my planet does not have hydrogen. And just like that, I gotta craft way more stuff. I also realized that I have no idea how to manage power in my base because it has become a very straight line. Day 49. I managed to make a landing pad for my rocket, and with it comes the option to turn in quests. And it gave me a rain of boxes. And now I have a few buggies, this random shredder, and all these other boxes. Basically, by making my landing pad, I just gave myself more chores to do. Day 50. I'm at the point in this game where to make something really cool, I need to unlock a few other things first. So if I wanted dynamite, I need sulfur. But to get sulfur, I need a planet that can condense it from the sky, which is not my planet, by the way. So now I have to find a planet with sulfur to do this. And I'd like to remind all of you that I'm doing all of this to make diamonds to get to the core of my icy planet. Day 51. I needed a break from my icy planet, mainly because I was tired of all the high-level demands. We've got all these other planets to work on. Let's get to work. So we go to the desert planet, and chat named it Scorched Earth. Nice. And turns out this is a multi-trip endeavor. So we unload everything and go straight back to our icy planet to grab a couple more things. Day 52. I spent the morning prepping the desert base and placed a printer just to set up the atmospheric condenser, because we're gonna leave it here for the long run. And then, while I was working, I died, because I suffocated and wasn't paying attention. And today is another simple day of setting up the base. So we lay down some more things and have a power problem. And luckily we found these solar panels and a lot of resin so we can keep organizing this gross base. Day 53. Not much happened here. Still mining for macaroni. I still need the stuff to make more platforms to put more things on it. Well, the desert base is finally at a good point. Let's just call it livable. Then we make a bunch of tethers to walk to the nearest beacon. That way, when I teleport from the core, I can safely go back to base. When we get home from our adventure, I loaded up our truck and look at this super fun glitch. And now it's beacon time. Hold, please. Drive, 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 beacon. Drive, drive, beacon. And there. The final beacon. Let's go get ready for the core. Day 58. I once again run out of tethers just before we get to the core. Luckily on the way up, we collected what we need to unlock this planet's key. And then we make more tethers and slide back down. Just a reminder that each core needs specific material to give you a key. We need these keys to finish the game. The problem is that I brought the wrong thing to the core. Apparently it needs explosive powder. So back to the drawing board. And the fastest way to make explosive powder is back home. And after a few house chores and making the powder, we head back to the desert planet and slide back down to the core. And ladies and gents, that's one more planet down. Back on the surface, I grab what I need to head back to our icy home. I chose to leave the condenser behind because I'll need these planets' resources for future gear. When we get home, I decided it was time to start upgrading our stuff, like quality of life stuff, aka a new big boy rocket. And as you know, it takes forever to make anything in this game, so while working, we make some TNT and blow up this crate below my base. It just felt nice. Day 63. I've learned that I need nitrogen to craft more late game materials, which is another atmospheric condenser thing. And unfortunately, our desert planet doesn't have that resource. So we take the atmospheric condenser, put it back in our starter home, and get to mining nitrogen. Look at how disgusting this old base is. There's crud everywhere. And I love it. We go grab that orb vehicle I found like forever ago. It's just a cool thing to ride around. Day 65. With 2 bottles of nitrogen and a whole bunch of other stuff, we head back home. Now that we've crafted the giant rocket, I put our smaller rocket up here in the museum, aka on the top of this little mountain. And chat named our giant rocket Frontier. Oh, also we unlocked hydrazine rocket engines, which means I need more atmospheric resources. So it's time to make more engines. Then on the day 66, we finished up the hydrazine thruster and put it on our new big boy rocket. And now we can travel without doing the packaging glitch. Now that we've got a better way of traveling, I decide it's time for something cooler. It's time to go get these snails. To start our adventure, we immediately go to the moon of Silva and finish crafting a snail terrarium. Each terrarium demands different resources from specific planets. Before calling our first snail, we head back to our icy planet to grab the music horn. Day 69. Nice. After that, we go to the desert planet, craft its terrarium, and look at this battle-hardened snail. After a few dances, we named our snail the Dust Warrior. Then we went back to the moon and caught ourselves another snail, and the chat named him Jeb Falfid Kraken. With our 2 new snails, we dropped them off to be scanned at the starter planet. Unfortunately, in order to go find more snails, we have to find something called exochips, which can only be found in locked chests around the world. So we head home to make some dynamite. Day 71. So I got a little distracted and wanted to upgrade my storage on the spaceship. So I made this very large storage and it doesn't fit in my ship. So I had to print 2 slightly smaller storage units. Nice. Day 72. I don't know how to find these crates to blow up, but I remember there was some on the desert planet, so we headed that way. And while running around, Chad actually taught me how to read the compass. Apparently these green icons mean that there's something I can blow up there. To save on dynamite, I stacked these treasure chests on top of each other, but I was a little too close to the explosion, so I fast traveled to my ship. Now let's go grab my body. So here's the thing, by blowing up my body also meant I blew up all the explosives in my inventory. Makes sense, I guess, but I gotta go make more. Well, at least we have some exochips. So we turned them into the pet research building, and now we can go find more pets across the galaxy. Before leaving, I turned in this quest, and it gave me another shiny artifact. It demanded that I put it on the surface of our icy planet. So let's go do that. Hopefully I don't get distracted again. We dropped the shiny artifact that turned out to be a big train station, and the chat named it Glacial Junction. Then we moved all of our power sources to the large bubble unit, and now it looks disgusting. Perfect. On day 75, we get back to collecting snail pets. So we head to Novus, which is this random moon. Before we can get a terrarium for the snail, we need resources to unlock one. So we wandered around a bit to collect what we needed and headed back to the icy planet to turn in the quest for the terrarium. Now that we have the terrarium, we do a few mini quests to lure the snail out of hiding, aka looking for some snail shells. Finally, after a lot of driving around, we find a small stash of shells. Unfortunately, the local plants killed me, so I got a lot of walking to do back to my body. Took literally all day, because I had to tether all the way back to my dead body. Then we finally collected them shells. With the mini quest done, we're able to go back to our home and complete 2 terrariums for Novus and its moon. Before leaving, I craft a few beacons so I can remember where I landed. Once you plop one down, you can see them out in space, and it makes navigating a lot simpler. Day 79. We collect our beautiful looking pink snail, and chat decides to name it Barbie. And then we take off to the moon and capture the next snail, and the chat calls Cinder. After that, the quests demand that we go back to the starter planet and scan Barbie and Cinder. Before leaving, we had to add more power to the pet station, and it played a really creepy circus song. But now we can continue our long search for all the pets. Then we found ourselves in our homeworld looking for snail shells. They're very hard to find and require dynamite. Luckily, chat taught me how to quickly find them, and we blew up the stack all at one time. And I was a safe distance away this time. Now that we have Glacio's terrarium, we're ready to accept the ice snail. And boy howdy, this thing looks beautiful. And the chat named it Sharko. The last snail on our list is on a planet called Atrox, a green planet that's very difficult to navigate. We do a smidge of prepping and fly to the new place. Boy, this place is green. Borderline Shrek planet, if you ask me. We do the mini quest to find all the snail shells, and once done, we go back home to get its terrarium. The last thing this terrarium needs to finish is helium, which is found back on that green planet. So we package up our atmospheric condenser and head on back. But I've got a big power problem. Normally, I've been powering my base with wind and solar, some batteries, a whole bunch of stuff. The problem is that this planet has no sun and low wind, so I've got a big power problem. On day 84, we finally finished getting a little bit of helium to finish up the terrarium. So we do the song and dance of the snail people, and chat names this gross, beautiful thing Sir Hendrickson, the third leader of the snail people, Lord of Snot. Then we head back to Silva and scan the last 2 snails. Then the game had us load all the snails on the top of the building and check out this amazing song. Oh my gosh.
What info?
Oh my gosh, this is so cute. At the very end, we all did clappy hands, and it was the most beautiful song I've ever heard in my entire life. Day 85. Now that we collected all the snails, we can get back to finishing the game, aka gathering all the planet core keys. And that means I get distracted and start working on this giant rover. I wanted to make the most efficient beacon charger this world has ever seen. Don't ask questions, just go with it. Day 86. We're still working on this giant thing, and now I'm working on its attachments, such as a digger so we can go straight through the Earth, as well as a medium generator to power up the beacons. I spent a whole lot of time prepping and getting this stupid space rover into my ship, because it made me reorganize just a bunch of things. Day 87. We head back to the Barbie planet, drop off my rover gear because it's taking up so much space. But don't worry, we're not done with the rover. It just needs more stuff. I also learned that the medium generators need specific fuel. I'm no longer allowed to use grass, like the smaller generators. So I have to go back home and make specific generator fuel. After a lot of prep and a lot of smelting, we have one of the best beacon busting machines this side of the Mississippi. So whenever it gets flipped or stuck in a hole, we can just dig our way out. We pull up to the first beacon. And apparently I'm a little over prepped because I didn't need all these generators. Good lord, this rover's efficient. Day 90. It was on this day I realized that I have so much to do in so little time. Chat and I decided that we are no longer going to get every beacon on all the planets. You technically only need to do one to get the planet's key, and since we charged the beacon on this planet, we're going to go to other planets to keep moving. So we pack up and go to the next planet. We'll be back to get the key later. Next planet is this moon. to power the beacon. And then we headed to Aatrox to do the same thing. It took a little longer on Aatrox because I needed to make more fuel, but we got there anyways. And on day 92, now that we have all the planet beacons powered, we can finally get to digging. And digging and digging and making tethers. We make a quick trip to grab some hydrogen for Aatrox's core and get the key. Next stop is this beautiful pink planet. On day 93, I managed to get the core without going back to the surface. The problem is I accidentally fell into the core without bringing what I needed to unlock the key. It's pretty hard to get out of here once you're in, so hold please while I suffocate. After fast traveling to the base, we went straight to our icy planet to grab what I need. Then we rode the slip and slide of death back to the planet's core. Only 2 planets to go. On day 95, we head to the icy planet to get what we needed for the next core, and then we headed to the moon. Since it's the moon, we got to the core crazy fast. I had a close call and almost died, but we had tethers to save me. Oh my god, 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 I'm panicking. And then zip, zap, zop, we're on our way out of there. On day 97, I realized that we lost our starter planet's key, and now we have only got 1 planet left to do. My own home, the ice planet, Glacio. Don't forget that this planet demands an upgraded drill to get to the core, which requires diamonds. You know, the stuff I was supposed to craft like 30 days ago, but kept getting distracted. Welcome to my brain. And luckily, after a lot of digging and smelting, I was able to quickly make 2 diamonds. 1 for me, and 1 for the planet's core. Just ignore the giant hole behind my base. Whee! It's a calm day because we have all of the core keys, and we're ready to go to the final location to turn them in. Apparently, it's an alien station, just hanging out in our galaxy. Before leaving, we do some house chores and refuel the rocket one last time. And on day 100, we land on the unidentified alien satellite. It's got quite a spooky vibe. And for old time's sake, the chat names the location Bingus. We enjoy the light show as we placed every key, and then a portal to the great beyond pops up. As we walked into the abyss, we chanted 100 days. 100 days!
100 days. 100 days. 100 days.
100 days! Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next 100 days. Bye-bye!